Hey guys, it's Lisa back with another video for you for Lisa Wise Designs, and today we're starting part 3 of our Boho Christmas mini album. This is such a fun project. You can use this to be a December daily. It comes with your numbers 1 through 31 in the pack, or if you want just to use it as a flip book to put in your Christmas pictures, you can just leave those numbers out. But I think that's kind of fun. So let's get back started on our project. Let's see where we left off. Okay. So we have all of our base pages in, and we have matted the front and the back cover, and we have made our little pop-up element. So we are starting back on the top of page 20, and we're going to cut photo flaps B, 4 of those, photo flaps A, 4 of those. And the reason I cut B first is because you're going to use the leftovers from B to cut A. Right? So I have got mine cut here, and I just need to score and put the tape on. I tried to be a little bit more prepared this time. Well, you know, it is what it is. Look what I found. I found my stylus that my child was playing with. So anyway, it is what it is. If I've got it and like it, that means she likes it too. Don't know when that will stop, huh? Score on the 6 3/4 side, a 1/2 inch. Yeah, at this age it is, I guess, a little aggravating when things go missing, but it is kind of fun that they do like to be with you and they like to do the things that you're doing. They want to be just like you. That part is fun. So I wonder when that's going to change, right? When they look at you and start saying, "You've ruined my life." So this, make sure we're on the 6 3/4 side. Yeah, and 1/2 inch. So these are photo flaps, so they all should be 1/2 inch. I really like this size of photo flap because it doesn't matter if you have vertical or horizontal pictures, they're going to fit on the flap, so you don't have to know beforehand which way your picture is oriented, and I do like that. There's A and B. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be combining these two together to make a waterfall for the back cover of our album. So now we're just going to put the tape between the score line and that cut edge. If you have any overhang, you just want to go ahead and trim that off. Look at my cool new scissors. Aren't those cool? They're from Jam, J-A-M something. We'll see how long those last. I got a purple pair and a pink pair, and Fina Bug has already decided that she likes them, so you know what that means. They will probably go missing here soon. I don't know what it is about cutting and scissors, but she is obsessed right now with cutting things up. So the bad part about that is she cut her hair last August, I think. It was right before school started. I guess that was just a rite of passage, everyone tells me, to cut her bangs. So it took 6 to 8 months before they looked decent again. I just hope we don't have that episode. I did threaten her if she ever did it again, and I cried when I saw it. Oh, it looked terrible. So I've tried to encourage her to cut, but on paper only, and explain that to her. But when I was a child, I cut my Barbie's hairs thinking that it would grow back, so I guess I don't have much room to talk. So we sit at the kitchen table a lot on the weekends and scrapbook or work on junk journals or just put stickers on paper, and she really likes it. So maybe I'm raising one to be arts and craftsy. That'll go with me to shows in the future. Okay. That done. Just gonna try to burnish this down. So let's work on the waterfall. We are in the middle of page 20. Grab my project here. Here's the front of the book. I'm going to open it to the back. We're going to fold on the score line of one of our piece B's. Okay, so the larger piece. Fold on the score line to the back. And burnish that. I'm going to remove the tape backing and I'm going to adhere it to this green and red piece of paper we have here. I'm going to put it flush to the top of that green pattern paper, the green and red. Not all the way to the top of the album, but to the top of that pattern paper. And I'm going to kind of eyeball center. It's hard to do without getting right over it, so let's see. Let me just stand up. There we go. I want to make sure I really like the placement of this first one because all the rest of them fall right underneath it. All right, pretty good. So we just open this up, burnish some more, and we take the next B piece, fold, score line, and burnish. This lets you get a lot of photos in here. I've got another sample I'm working on with different pattern paper, and I don't double up on the photo mats, which you'll see what I mean in a second when I put the other size on here. So I'm just butting this up against the front, the first one. Once again, I'm going to stand up and see if that helps. Just butting it up there. Won't be perfect, but pretty close. And we'll just keep going. So if you don't have as many pictures or cut aparts that you can fill in with, you may want to leave some of these out. But I would dare say the majority of us are always looking for albums that we can put the most pictures in. We're not looking to take out, are we? But I had a professional photo shoot at Christmas, so I had, a set number of pictures. So I did leave some out in the second one. Okay. So once again, these photo mats, you don't have to know if you have horizontal or vertical pictures, because they will work for either one. Right? You might could get away with putting one more here, but I did not want to take that chance, and I wanted to see some of my pattern paper there. Okay, so this is the first part of the waterfall. Now I'm going to add to it to get more pictures on there, and I'm going to make sure they're vertical pictures. So that's why I have these photo mats, because most of us take photos on our cell phones, and we hold the cell phone in this orientation, so a lot of us have this orientation of photo. I am now at the top of page 21. So what I did is I took, these are B pieces, is that right? No, these are A pieces, sorry. And I put them right in the center on top of that first page and flush to the bottom. Let me get a piece of paper here so that I can kind of see. I'm going to put it underneath this first flap, and this is how it would go. So that way you can get 1, 2, 3, 4 photos on this one flap. So you can load up your Christmas pictures. And I know I always have so many pictures of our family opening presents that this is going to come in really handy this year. It's hard to choose too between the photos of which ones to use and which ones not. Okay, sorry, I thought my camera had died. It was making a weird noise. Okay, this here, we're gonna add those. And I did it the same way on all of these 4 photo flaps. I just came from the bottom. So I haven't seen much chat in the comments about what you're going to be using this for, if you're using it for a December daily or just for a Christmas photo album. So if you already know, let me know if you're going to use it for a gift or if it's for you. I'm very interested to see, because I've made a couple of these, and I think I'm going to use them for different things. I think I am going to use a December daily, since we are pretty busy Christmas week or Christmas month, that whole December. And I think the other one I'm going to use definitely for more just pictures of Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, those type things. So now we're going to work on the front cover. I am in the middle of page 21. Okay. I've got mine cut down. This is 7 3/8 by 8. I've just got to score it now. This is going to be that big pocket on the front. It's going to be this right here. All right, let's see. Score on 7 3/8 side. So it's just a pocket, so there's half an inch on both sides here, and one on the bottom. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my tape. Closer to the cut edge than the score line. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to make that angled pocket. So we're at the bottom of page 21. We're going to make a pencil mark on the right side. It's 4 inches from the top of the pocket. Okay. So since it's 8 inches, it would be 4 inches from the the other side too. It's right in the center. Okay, so here is my line here. I'm gonna go ahead and miter, which means I am cutting right up to where those score lines meet, but not going over. Okay, and now we're going over to page 22, and we're going to cut at an angle of what, up to that pencil line we just made. So from the top left score line, so where the score line is right here, is where we're going to cut down to the pencil mark. So I'm not cutting all the way to the ends, but as long as you do you, doesn't matter, you could. We're just going to make sure that we have a good match for that. Okay. Throw that away. Okay, this is what it should look like. So now we're going to make the template for the mat. We want to do that before you put this on the front of your album, or it makes it much more difficult. Let's go ahead and fold on our score lines. Burnish that here. Then when you fold this down, you see you've got some little overhang here from the back because we cut it at that angle. Just go ahead and trim that up. Now you had a piece of white cardstock that was in your kit. This is what we're going to use to mat. So cut it down to 6 1/4 by 7 1/2, and that's on page 22 in the center. And we're going to put this in the pocket. So I'm going to slide that in the back like so. Okay, where this sticks out. Just make sure it's flush to the bottom and the sides. And then all we're going to do is make a pencil line for our cut mark, okay? And this is what it should look like. So let's go ahead and cut on that line. And then just make sure that this matches up. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So we're going to need to trim this down, of course, to make it be a mat. So let's see, we're now on the top of 23. We're going to cut 1/4 of an inch off the bottom here. And then 1/8 of an inch off the right and the left side. So we need to make sure it's a half of that 1/4 of an inch, so 1/8 of an inch. And this should now be pretty good mat for our pocket here. So I would definitely make sure you make this template before you cut your paper, because you don't have a lot of extra pattern paper. So you can definitely grab some white paper or any color out of your stash to make the template until you like your template to go on here before you cut that pattern paper. So that looks pretty good. Now we're going to put the pocket onto the front cover. So what I like to do is line this up to the right edge at the bottom, and it should come really close to line up with where the two pieces of pattern paper meet. It might not be exact, but it'd be pretty close. Okay. So go ahead and put that on. This is fun. We finally get to play with pattern paper. Turn this where I can kind of get right to the side here. Okay. There's a little cattywampus off here. That just means my paper was not exactly straight when I put it on, but that's okay. I am not going to stress about it. We're going to have things in the pocket, so we'll never know. So now we're going to use this mat, and we're going to mat that pocket. I'm using this Boho Christmas. This is called the Merriest, but it's got Merry, Merry, Merry all over it. I'm going to put this down in the far left bottom corner. And I'm just going to draw a line using my template now that I am satisfied with that. That makes it easy peasy. Let's see how long this is. Oh yeah, it's like exactly 6 inch, which makes it good for me. And I can use this other side to do some matting. Line this up in my trimmer. Okay, I'm going to take the time now to make sure I get those pencil marks off. And then I'm going to use my Distress ink, this vintage photo. The edges. Right. Love this paper with this red and white dot. All right, so we're just going to simply adhere this right on our pocket. Love. Love, love, love. I love how that brings that out. And I really like it once I got all the tags and stuff in it. I filled up my bottle with art glitter glue. It was almost empty, and boy, that worked so much better. Not having to push on it so hard. I think I'm going to distress this a little bit. So far, so good. Let's keep going, and let's just talk about the pattern paper a little here. We've got one more thing that we want to, one more thing on the top of page 24, that swing pocket that we want to go ahead and mat, and then we'll talk about laying out all the pattern papers onto the base pages. So on the back of this Mary paper here, let's see, we have these big dots, and then we made this in the last video. This is the swing pocket. This is got the F on the front, and then we made the mat here. So we're going to go ahead and mat this. So let's see, it says we need what? First thing we want to do is we'll flip the mat over to the back and do the back side. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, will it? Yeah, that works just like this. Okay. So this will be for the back. And then the front, it's the same except it's in 1/2 inch shorter. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw it out, and I'll just cut it down. I think that's gonna be the easiest. Okay. Let me know if you like this take on pockets, doing them a little bit differently. You know, giving yourself a little bit variation. Kind of like not doing the same things over and over sometimes. I think that's fun, having different shapes of pockets. Haven't done any of those in a while. Okay, so let's see. It's like, okay, I know this works. All right, so this goes on this side for sure. This one goes on this side, but it needs to be 1/2 inch shorter. Like so. Yep, that looks good. So cut this and this. And so now we need to cut the little piece that's going to go on the inside here. So now we're at, I think the second little blocks on 24. Going to grab my pattern paper scraps. So we had this one left over from doing our cover, and it should be 1.5 wide, and it is. Okay, so we're going to cut this down to 6.5 by 1.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it to 6.5. And then I'm gonna cut this binding strip off, and that should be, yes, the 1.5. Okay, so I need that for the pocket up front. And then I need a strip. My instruction says 3/4 inch by 7, but I don't have 3/4 inch by 7 left. I have this strip that was left from the, I think it was from making the front of the album. It's a 1/2 inch, and that will work. So if you have a 1/2 inch left, that's fine. I'm just gonna cut this down to 7 inches. Put those back in my scraps. Ahead and ink. Did you hear that? I said ink. No idea what I'm doing. Some days. Yeah, still gotta cut that one down a little bit. I think this is fun, being in the house with air conditioning and doing Christmas in July. Would not think it was so much fun if I was outside. I'm not an outside girl in the summertime. I am more of a fall girl and even into winter. But you know, I've lost quite a bit of weight. I've lost 51 pounds so far from last August, and I do find myself getting colder than I've ever been before. I am freezing inside my office, and I never was. I always thought it felt really good. I had to take a blanket with me to the movies for the first time. Whew. Well, let me know what you think about that. It's like, wow. Okay, so this 1/2 inch piece here, and then the mat that we had for that pocket, what I'm gonna do is line up the top of the mat so it's gonna be at an angle on this plaid piece. I can't think of what that's called. Just use something dark enough where you can mark the sides all the way, and then you can use your trimmer or a pair of scissors to cut that angle piece. I would like for this to be a little longer. I wish it was 3/4 of an inch to go more down in the pocket, but this will work. It'll work. We'll use what we have. So now on this F piece, this would go right down in here to give you some definition between these two pieces where you can actually see the opening better. Hit this with some ink to help define the opening here a little more. I love Christmas projects. I love Christmas paper. I guess just because I love Christmas so much. It's the one time a year I decorate my house, you know, to the nines. Almost every room has lots of Christmas in it. Ugh, I can't wait to put up my Christmas tree. I usually hold myself back to the day after Halloween. But after that, it's on. It's the first weekend after Halloween so that I have enough time to enjoy it. I think most people in the South are of two camps. You either put it up super early or you put it up right at Thanksgiving. A lot of people will take the time they have off from work that Thanksgiving weekend and put up their tree. I just want to enjoy mine a little bit longer than that, so that by the time New Year's comes, I'm good and ready to take it down. I'm ready to say goodbye. I have been known to put it up in October and then just do the outside of the house in November so that no one knows but me that I'm, you know, I put it up so super early. But I found that's a good time to put it right after, I always say Thanksgiving, but it's Halloween. So that first weekend in November, I'm putting that bad boy up. And I have a lot of fall decorations that I love, I truly love, but I'm just too lazy to put them up. I don't know what the difference is between the Christmas and the fall, even though I love the decorations. I should have just have won the lottery a long time ago and have someone do it for me. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so I'm going to open my book up to the front cover, and so this is where this pattern piece goes. There. Okay, and then you can decide where you want your swing pocket. Let's see, I have mine on this first page of the second section. So here's the first section here, 2 pages. So it's on the 3rd page here. This is where I'm going to put mine again. Let's just go ahead and do that together. Piece of paper so that I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put it flush to the bottom right. burnish that in place. That is going to be so cute. All right, have I been following my instructions pretty well? I think so. So in the middle of 24, and this is where I'll leave you today, we need to lay out all of those sheets of 6x8 paper. Just kind of lay it out and know where you want to put all of them. So let me tidy up here a little bit. Make sure my glue has a lid on it. Okay, I took my 6x8 Christmas paper pad and I tore all 24 sheets out and inked around the edges. Of course, I wouldn't do both sides, so you probably want to make sure you know which side you're going to use, and I will show you the order that I'm going to use mine in, just in case you want to know. This green plaid, okay, and then the Mary along with the red dot. Okay, then the green plaid with the Santa Claus with the green plaid hat. Then I'm going to use the Christmas gifts along with the dotted, is that tan paper, I guess? See how that goes together. And the fa la 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 along with the Christmas trees to bring out that pink. And I'm going to use the Santa faces along with the green and red holly, because he's got the holly in his hat. Then I'm going to use the Christmas trees. Wait a minute. Help me, Rhonda. I've already gotten off. Oh, please. Okay, so after Santa and this, then I use plaid and Christmas trees together. See how it's got that plaid right there? And then next, I've got the small poinsettias on the white background with the dots, those two together. And then I'm going to use these two, the Holly Jolly, along with the other poinsettia paper. And it looks like a lot together, but this is what I'm going to do with that. We've got one of these that you flip up where it says Holly Jolly here. La 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 la, along with this green and pink dots. I'm not sure what kind of vines those are supposed to be. And then dotted paper along with the ornaments, the Christmas packages. Then we're going to do Very Merry and Bright along with the coordinating dot paper. And then the last piece of paper on the back will be this poinsettia paper with little pink dots here. So that is how I'm going to lay mine out. So you can see this is what it will look like. Okay, so when we come back, I will have glued down my papers and then we'll go over the decorating together. So I'm just going to glue down all of my pattern papers. I really like this. It took me a little while to figure out how, I wanted to pair them together because there was a rhyme and a reason about, how they went together. Just to kind of, like you say, like pull out some of the colors or things that would coordinate together. All right, so before you glue down any of your pattern papers here, you want to make sure you know where you want to add photo flaps. Like this one we already added, so I just glue down my Santa on top of it. So if you know there's other places where you want to add more photo flaps, let's see if I can find an example here. Like this one, I would go ahead and put those down where you want them, okay? Just like this, because you don't want to see that flap. If you don't know where you want to add photos to, then I would glue the paper down, but leave about, an inch at the top or the side with no glue so that you can add these later and then you can go back and glue them down. So if you don't know where you want to put extra photo flaps like this one, then just leave yourself some space at the top and the open side, whichever side it is. Well, this is the open side. This is the open side. I would leave 1 inch at the top and side to give yourself, you know, some flexibility. Right. Okay, so I will be back in the next video. I'm trying to think. Today, I missed a day, Monday. This is Tuesday. So I will see you on Thursday of this week, and I hope you're really enjoying this project. We'll do 1 or 2 more videos, and we'll wrap this one up. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.